Teresa Moore. Thank you for joining us. Today is Global Entrepreneur on Wednesday at 4. We're casting live out of Hawaii, and our guest, Aloha Art, and she has Iolani Designs. Her husband passed away. He was an airline pilot, and he passed away about 7 years ago. And when he passed away, she had to take the reins financially for everything. She had not worked before, is that correct? She not had to work. You have a beautiful daughter. That is how old? How old is your daughter?
She's 13.
She's 13.
Yes.
And so in addition to having to take on the responsibility of managing finances and then still raising her daughter by herself, she had to create a livelihood. And she learned this art of painting these beautiful designs in words and letters. And she set up a little kiosk in downtown Waikiki. And this little kiosk has generated more business than she could ever imagine. But she's limited because she could only paint so many letters, and but she kept fine-tuning her art. So right now she has, I could say, a thriving business, but she has a limitation. And the limitation to that business is she only has X amount of hours in a day. She still has to manage her finances and raise her daughter. And so she has to bring staff in. And so when I saw her artwork, first of all, it's amazing. She's positioned right next to Cheesecake Factory. Now, anytime you want to go there, you will either lunchtime or dinner, you'll probably stay in line for 45 minutes. So while you're in line for 45 minutes, you could watch Hannah do her artwork. Do you think that she's got a little gold mine there? And her limitation is she can only paint so many. And every piece that you paint is unique, isn't it? But she started to expand, and so she started to use technology. And she started to use technology, and you'll see that each letter, in fact, if you could put on the screen for us an example of, she could have 20 different versions of the letter A. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to ask you some questions. So 20 different versions of the letter A. And so she then created a nice business that not only can she custom make a letter or someone's name, she now started to expand and use technology by scanning them and applying them through a software program to make words. So now she could duplicate herself, but she still has labor issue of someone to do it. And she's found that she can have them applied to cups, so you can have custom pieces done. Keychains. Whoops. This is cool. This is really cute. A little bookmarker, T-shirts, plaques, name tags, luggage keys. And great. You want to put bibs? Yes. And then there's her artwork. What made you want to do this?
That was Korean. This is Korean traditional art.
It's a Korean traditional art.
But I never knew before. It's very old art form.
Okay.
So I was very interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you started doing, was it easy?
No, it was not easy.
It was
very difficult.
It was very difficult.
For me,
Yeah.
it took me about 6 months.
6 months.
But I was
Dedicated.
Really, focusing on what I was doing.
What does it mean to you when you have a group of people all standing there watching you, and as someone says, okay, I want you to do Teresa, you're not just doing a T, are you?
No.
What are you doing? When someone comes and says, okay, do this name for me.
Well, it depends. I look at the person first. If it's adults, if the person looks like very feminine, I put that in the image.
So because we have Hannah facing me instead of the camera, I'm going to repeat what she said. If she's looking at a person who's feminine, then she's going to design those letters based on that woman's feminine energy.
Right. Yes.
So you're actually reading a person's energy.
Right.
And you're transforming that person's energy into a piece of art.
Right.
So every letter that you do is unique, and it's kind of like your gift to them of your expression of their energy.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so let's go with blue. We're going to do blue media, and let's see what she's doing. So what you've got is this is a brush that has, and you already have it loaded with ink on it.
Yeah.
What kind of ink is
It's
this?
a watercolor.
It's a watercolor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I have 3 colors on one brush.
She has 3 colors on the brush. She has red, green, and yellow.
Just made this one.
Okay. And so we've just spent 45 minutes talking about Blue Media, talking about the homeless, talking about the spirit of Aloha, talking about investigative reporting, and she's actually creating a word or an expression based on this whole conversation.
So this is a bee with boat, sailboat with water splashing.
Sailboat with water splashing. So, about how long have you been doing this?
Well, actually, I've been doing this about 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, but I stopped when I got married.
Ah.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this idea to do it when your husband passed and you went, oh, I've got to go back to work?
I need to show my daughter that I'm working.
Ah.
I didn't want to show her like I'm just staying home. I wanted her to show her my
So you did this to set an example for your daughter.
Yes. And I need to make money.
And you needed to make money.
Right.
How did you know this would work?
Because it was working before.
Oh, you did it before and it worked.
Before I met my husband.
Oh, you were doing this before you met your
Yeah,
husband.
yes.
Great. And when someone stands in front of the Cheesecake Factory and you have like 10 or 15 people watching you do it, is there a conversation that goes on? Does everyone gain in that experience?
They always ask.
They always ask you?
Yeah. And a lot of people are really amazed what I do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now you have other people that paint, right?
Right.
How did you pick them and how did you find them? Did you train them?
I train them.
You train them?
Yeah, because I cannot be in my work all the time.
Right.
I have family to take care of.
Right. So how do you find someone that is capable of doing this?
Well, I get helper first.
Uh-huh.
You know, I need helper.
You started as a
And
helper.
They
Okay.
get very interested. They realize this can be, working really good.
Uh-huh.
Then, I train them. And they're very happy about it. They get really good income.
What kind of income do they get?
Or they get commission.
They get commissions.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
I don't pay salary. They get commission.
So could we teach the homeless how to do this?
If they really commit.
Another thought that came up is being able to use your art to bring a message of like some of the things that are going on with
Oh, wow.
she's finishing up, and when she's finished, I want to cover the concept of Blue Media.
There it is, Ina.
There's Ina. That's our land here in Hawaii. She'll hold it up for you, and if you'll get a still shot with her picture, with her face in the. Are you able to
Ina.
pick her face up, holding it? There you go. Beautiful.
Ina.
And now we have Aloha energy with Hana business. So let me recap. Blue Media is finding ways to give back to the local community, but at the same time embracing the merchant and expanding his
Their
business globally. Intertwining with technologies that can take you out with little or no expense, and understanding how to do alliances and network and value all. So thank you for joining us. Are we up on our time? Okay, we're up on our time, but look for Hana because we're going to have her on our Global Entrepreneur website, so you'll be able to see as we start to grow her business. Thank you so much for joining us. Be here next week, 4 o'clock Hawaii time, 6 o'clock in California, the rest of the world. And aloha from Hawaii.